The grocery store parking lot was a patchwork of melting snow and oil stains. But for Daniel Walker, it was another battlefield in a long war of survival. With one arm wrapped tightly around a squirming toddler and the other juggling a sack of off-brand diapers and boxed mac and cheese, he looked like a man holding his world together by the threads of love and duct tape. Daniel was 35, widowed at 30, and barely scraping by on construction gigs and night shifts at the gas station. Every dollar mattered. Every smile from his 4-year-old daughter, Mia, was a lighthouse in the storm. He was used to being invisible. People didn't see single dads like him. Not really. But that was about to change. It was supposed to be a quick errand. Just some milk, eggs, and apple juice before his shift. But as he stepped out of the store with Mia tugging on his coat, he saw the woman collapse. She was maybe in her 40s, dressed sharply in a tailored coat, her heels far too elegant for the icy pavement. One moment she was walking briskly across the lot, phone in hand, and the next, she dropped like a marionette with cut strings. People screamed. Phones came out. But no one moved. Daniel moved. He handed Mia to a shocked bystander and dropped to his knees. "Call 911. He barked. Now, he didn't think, he acted. Years ago, his late wife had made him take a CPR course when Mia was born. He remembered the beat, the pressure, the hope you force into a stranger's chest when there's no time for fear. He pressed down, steady and strong, sweat beading on his brow despite the cold. 1, 2, 3, come on. Breathe. The sirens wailed in the distance. Time blurred. And then as she gasped, her eyes fluttered open like a curtain drawn to morning light. Blue. Dazed. Alive. He sighed, trembling with relief. She focused on him, blinking against the sunlight. "You," she whispered, her voice dry. "You saved me." "I guess I did," he said, sitting back, heart pounding louder now than during the CPR. "You're going to be okay." She looked at him for a long moment, something unspoken passing between them, a mix of confusion, gratitude, and something else neither of them could name yet. Her name was Alexandra Pierce, CEO of one of the fastest-growing tech companies in the country. When the story broke, it was everywhere. Single dad saves powerful executive's life. A video had surfaced online, Daniel giving CPR while strangers watched. The world noticed. Alexandra noticed more. She called him from the hospital. "I owe you my life," she said. "You don't owe me anything," he replied. "I just did what anyone should do." But most people didn't. There was a pause. "Can I thank you properly?" she asked. It was supposed to be a one-time dinner, a gesture of thanks. She invited him to a quiet bistro downtown. He wore his best, still wrinkled, but clean, and brought Mia, because babysitters were a luxury he couldn't afford. Alexandra was waiting, radiant and nervous in a way that surprised him. And when Mia shyly climbed into her lap halfway through dessert, babbling about her pink shoes and a lost teddy bear, Daniel saw a softness bloom on the CEO's face that no business meeting had ever touched. He found himself laughing again. It felt like breathing after holding your breath too long. They met again. And again. Sometimes for coffee, sometimes walks in the park. Sometimes Alexandra came by the gas station late at night just to talk. She learned about his struggles, the dreams he'd buried under bills. He learned about the pressure she carried, the loneliness behind boardroom success. They didn't mean to fall for each other. But love is like CPR. It's urgent, it's life-saving, and sometimes it comes when you least expect it. Months later, she invited him to her office, Daniel in his scuffed boots, holding Mia's hand, looking out of place amid marble and glass. She offered him a job, not out of charity, but because she saw in him what the world often missed: character, resilience, compassion. He took it, not because he needed saving, but because someone finally saw him as more than a struggle. They married under a canopy of autumn leaves in a modest park. Mia was the flower girl, giggling as she tossed handfuls of petals into the breeze. Daniel looked at Alexandra, this woman who had once collapsed in front of him, who now stood beside him in strength, and knew life had a way of giving back, if you kept giving. Sometimes, the hand you reach out to save ends up saving you too. Kindness doesn't ask for payment. Love doesn't need a plan. And sometimes, one act of courage, one breath given, one heart restarted, is all it takes to turn two broken lives into one beautiful future. And in a world that often rushes past pain, sometimes it only takes one person to stop and breathe life back into hope.